Welcome back to another day on Dinosaur Island. If you watched last episode, we should all know that Redback and Raspberry are going on a little trip. Right now they're in a quite sunny area and it is a boiling hot day. So they're going to try to find an area shaded. If you haven't watched last episode, Redback and Raspberry are migrating because mating season has started and they're quite small for their age, so they're going to migrate to the south where there is no mating season going on right now. But somebody is trailing behind them that is not looking forward to migrating. They are looking forward to lunchtime. Of course, it's Klutz. He is trying to get food for himself, so his plan is to kill the Dimetrodon. Both of them is what he's going for. Redback starts to get a little bit too ahead of his sister. And when she tries to get closer to him, now Klutz has killed Raspberry. How unfortunate. But some more misfortune is about to come. Redback is running and running and running, but all of a sudden, he stops running. Klutz is getting closer. He is in pouncing distance of where Redback has decided to stop and crouches, ready to pounce. This is why Redback has stopped in his tracks. A wall. This little area of stone desert is blocked off by a wall. Klutz gets a little bit closer for more pouncing success. Redback turns. He can see very, very nearby. There is a wall. He turns, he cannot see the edge of the other side. Maybe there might not be a wall there. He sprints. Klutz chases after him. Again, there is another wall, and it seems as Redback has nothing else to do. then he remembers something. He can scale a bunch of surfaces. So he does. This surface is bumpy enough for Redback to climb. But just like Redback, Klutz is good at scaling steep surfaces too. But this surface is way too steep. He gives up, walks away to feast on raspberry. Since this is almost the last episode of Season 1, we'll unfortunately not be seeing Raspberry in Season 2. Klutz looks up and sees Redback go finish the scaling the wall and goes over to the edge of the cliff. A little bit of downpour starts, and soon Raspberry's blood will begin to fester in the water. That will surely attract some predators. So, Klutz moves away. The camera won't pick it up, but it starts to pour a lot. And a very hungry Africantosaurus appears to where he thought some meat was. Let's take a look at where Redback is at. It seems as though the cliff was supposed to be a waterfall. The downpour has stopped now, and Redback is finishing getting as much water as he can. But he's still sad about his sister's fate. Goes to look down. Of course, he sees nothing. Turns back around. But Redback knows what he must do. He cannot sit and grieve all day. The southern side of the island is just nearby. He cannot stop now just because of a little fatality. He looks around, making sure he knows where he's going, and starts to walk on and be strong. We will not see Redback anymore until Season 2. For now, let's check out and see how the Spinosaurs are doing. This area that Sandy has found herself in seems close to what Redback was at, but sorry about if you can hear some noise in the background. But it's just a little rise, so not necessarily a cliff. Sandy can easily go down. Sandy walks around. She likes this ledge and has already sprayed it as her home. But then she hears something, some rustling in the bushes. What she hears is the male Spinosaurus. he has come to check out Sandy. He had picked up her scent and wants to check her out. Sandy backs up a little bit. And they start to sniff each other. The male's pure, gigantic size impresses Sandy a lot. But what she is not impressed by is that he has no gift. Usually, carnivores will, while herbivores will fight each other to impress the females, and with their pure size. With the carnivores, they bring each other gifts like carcasses and stuff. Sandy is not impressed by this fact. She shoos the male off, and he wanders off too. Sandy is ferocious and easily gets the male off her back. Sandy is hungry, and the male trails off in a diagonal direction. Sandy is hungry and doesn't exactly follow where the male is, but she goes straight to try to find some prey. Because of this blistering hot day, the lake has already dried up even after that short little downpour. And sorry, the camera didn't pick that up. But here we see the Stegosaurus is waiting for it to rain again and for the lake to fill up. It looks like mating season doesn't exactly start today, but it starts tomorrow. So, these two bulls are sizing each other up so they know what to expect of their foe. They try to tell each other who is boss and to give up now. The alpha female, since there isn't an alpha male just yet, patiently waits. One of these two males will become the alpha male. She will wait to mate with them. And this juvenile, he's almost an adult. He's almost an adult. He just has a little bit more growing to be called an adult. Watches the two bull males fighting. And so he will be ready next mating season for him to fight. But a ways away, somebody has noticed this commotion at the lake. It is the Acrocanthosaurus. He wanted a drink at the lake, but he noticed the Stegosaurus presence. That made him quite hungry. He trails off and he watches them. This is the Acro's vision. Then his target was the the juvenile Stegosaurus, but he ran a little bit, curved off to the right. Yeah, the right. And he has found himself faced in front of the alpha female's Thagomisers. She notices his presence because she heard him. and starts to swing them around. The males, to impress her even more, turn around to see the acro and wanders up to help the female. While the baby, the juvenile, stays right in front of the herd, but he does not turn his back, for he needs to see what the Acrocanthosaurus's next move will be. His next move is to walk away. He has no chance but to leave stegosaurs alone. They are too strong and powerful. Once the stegosaurs get enough herd members, they will be the most powerful dinosaurs on the island. I haven't told you this yet, but stegosaurs were the first dinosaur on the island, and they, even though they have a brain the size of a walnut, they have been getting more intelligent and using up all that brain space that they have, and they are starting to collect their surroundings and knowing what the carnivores, if a move that they do, if the carnivores will attack, and a move that they do that the carnivores will give up. But nearby, in a different plains, there was a triceratops where he's in the area that's, it's being affected by this drought and hot spring. But he has to, anyway, feed on this grass. He's not enjoying this grass, for it is not lush. It is dry and weak. Not great. Not nutritious at all. But what he doesn't know is that he is being stalked. A little ways away, Sandy is stalking the Triceratops. The Triceratops has turned his head to where he cannot see her, and a mystery predator stalking him too. The huge shadow of this mystery predator covers up his foot. He hears Sandy strike, we hear Sandy strike, but he doesn't, and strikes too. The Triceratops turns its head and sees Sandy speeding towards it and starts to turn a bit more. But Sandy is too fast. Sandy is biting the neck of the Triceratops when the mystery predator comes in to bite the Triceratops' back. The Triceratops struggles to its feet, but then finally collapses. And the mystery predator lets go, and so does Sandy. Then it can be clear of who the mystery predator was. It was the male Spinosaurus. It seems that he switched his hunting path and came the way Sandy was, probably trying to still impress her and trying to get food for her. Sandy still doesn't think much of this male and turns to where the soft belly of the Triceratops is and starts to feast. The male trails off to get her a gift alone and not with her health. That's not a gift. Sandy feasts. Sandy is done feasting on the Triceratops and is about to leave. But then a Stegosaurus carcass is thrown in front of her. Here comes the male again, but this time Sandy is impressed with him. This is the stronger of the males, of the Stegosaurus males, and if he would have survived, he would probably be the bull male, and he is a very strong Stegosaurus. And while the male Spinosaurus, we'll call him Flynn, when Flynn was hunting the Stegosaurus, he was in the middle of the herd. Sandy is thoroughly impressed with him. She backs off to let him have his fill on the Triceratops. And while he eats, Sandy starts to take the Stegosaurus in the direction she wants it. She patiently waits before she goes farther. And before we know it, the Triceratops is gone. And the male begins to follow Sandy. Sandy will now bring him to her territory, which is the rise. They are at the rise, and they aren't going to mate today because their bodies aren't necessarily ready to mate. It usually takes a long time for, especially carnivores, to find a significant other. So, in the meantime, Sandy goes to a place near the rise. Flynn is exhausted from the heat and lays down. Sandy is at a little gravel patch, which seems like a good place to make a nest, at least for her. She digs up the very dry sand and prepares her nest so she doesn't have to work when she's impregnated. She also uses her muzzle to dig it because that's where she directly knows how to do it. She has finished her nest, jumps up onto the rise too, and lays down just like her mate. And of course, Stegosaurus is laying down too because he's dead. But anyway, that was this episode of Dinosaur Island. I hope you enjoyed it. Next episode will be the final. And the final episode, of course, has no next time. And it will be a while before I make season 2, so I can prepare and write scripts so I can send out these episodes a bit earlier than I have. And I'm so sorry for the wait of this episode, the 2 episodes. But anyway, this was Dinos Go Roar, signing out. But of course, we must do next time. So, next time on Dinosaur Island, Sandy lays her egg and it hatches. And we find something extraordinary about Klutz the Dakota Raptor. See what these are next time on Dinosaur Island.